Yo, what's good everyone? Welcome back to ACS Sneakers. My name is Aidan. On today's video, we are taking a look at the Jordan 1 High in the Japan neutral grey colourway. But before we get into that, I just want to say a huge thank you to everyone who helped me achieve my very first 500 subscribers. Hey! Woo! Originally releasing on January 1st of 2001, the Jordan 1 High in the Japan neutral grey colourway released in such a limited quantity, there was only 2,001 pairs made available. And here we have the box in hand, initially taking a look at the label on the box, which reads Air Jordan 1 High OG Co.JP, which stands for Concept Japan, in the neutral grey metallic silver colourway in a UK size 9, US size 10. Now, I really do like the overall concept of the box. I really do like it when the actual box complements the colourway, as quite often with Jordan 1, we do just have that usual bog standard box. Taking off the lid, here we go. Inside the box, we actually have a very different tissue paper. I'm not actually sure if you'll be able to see this. Let's see if we can get that up close on camera. Now, on the actual tissue paper itself, we have the Jumpman branding with 2001 for when the shoe was initially released, alongside the 2020 date as for this year's release. And here we have our very first look at the Jordan 1 Japan Neutral Grey. So let's go ahead and get straight into my review. Starting out with the toe box area, we have this metallic silver perforated leather toe box. Now, for anyone who actually saw my review of the Jordan 1 Satin Snake, this toe box is very similar to the last one that we took a look at in the way that it's just that normal bog standard leather material. Now, it's not necessarily great, but it's also not that bad either. I do anticipate this leather creasing very early on. It just has that almost stiff, robust feeling. So as soon as you do start to break the shoe in, the creases will start to show. And from my experience, whenever I've worn a completely grey shoe or a silver looking shoe, it generally starts to show creases a lot earlier than other colourways as well. So to avoid any additional creasing to the toe box area of your shoe, I would recommend that you do use a Sneaker Shield's sneaker insert to limit any additional creasing to the toe box. And if you do use my code ACS Sneakers 15 at checkout, you will receive a 15% discount. And now taking a look around the toe box area, we have an almost suede type of material that wraps right the way around the toe box. Now, I really do like how this looks and feels in hand. It definitely has a premium feel in my opinion. And if we now move up the upper of the shoe itself, starting off with the lateral side, you can see that we have that usual Jordan 1 paneling that can also be seen on the medial side as well. Now for me, this very much does have a suede type of feel underhand, and I really do like how this looks and feels in hand. If we actually take a look within the panel itself, you can see that we have the Nike swoosh with an almost iridescent finish in that same metallic silver that we saw on the toe box area. Now for me, I wasn't really sure about what my thoughts were about this actual colourway to begin with. To be honest, my first thought was Tin Man from the Wizard of Oz. But actually seeing this in hand, I can actually start to appreciate the colourway a lot more. I think as far as the colour blocking on the shoe is concerned, it is a lot more refined than a lot of other Jordan 1 models, but I actually kind of do like that about the shoe if I'm being honest. This is actually something that you can actually wear a lot more frequently than a lot of the other colourways, because it is such a natural neutral colour on this shoe that it can actually match up to a lot of outfits a lot easier than some of the other Jordan 1 colourways. I really think that the neutral grey and the metallic silver do blend very well together. Moving up the upper of the shoe itself, we continue to see that same metallic silver wrapping around the ankle collar of the shoe, and within the metallic silver we can see the usual Wings logo. Now I for one really like how this looks on this shoe. As I covered on my very first review way back in May, I really liked how the Wings logo looked on the Pine Green 2.0s because it was a lot different to a lot of the other Jordan 1 models. And likewise, with this particular Wings logo, it almost has a plastic casing and it looks amazing in my opinion. I'm a big fan of how this looks in person. When I actually saw this colourway for the very first time, I didn't really appreciate the Wings logo because it's not a very noticeable touch, but you can definitely see and notice it when you do have this shoe in hand. Taking a look now at the midsole of the shoe, we have a completely white midsole, And on the outsole, we have a completely grey outsole with the Nike Air branding in the centre. I was actually quite surprised to see that you only get one set of laces with this colourway. With a lot of Jordan 1 releases, you do tend to get additional sets of laces to go along with the colourway. However, with this one, you only get the singular set of grey laces to come with the actual shoe itself. And now moving up to the tongue itself, here we have a grey leather textured tongue with the Nike Air branding actually stitched into the centre. And for me, I actually really like how this looks, a lot more than that usual bog standard nylon tongue. If you guys haven't already, please go ahead and smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell notification so you never miss a video. Let's get back into it. Taking a look at the reverse of the tongue itself, we have an additional nylon patch that has been stitched to the back of the tongue itself with the Jordan Jumpman branding in red with the years 2001 for its original release and the years 2020 for this year's release of the Jordan 1 Japan Neutral Grey. And now taking a look at the ankle collar of the shoe, like what we saw on both the lateral and medial sides of the shoe, we have this almost suede type of leather that wraps right the way around the ankle collar. And I really do like how this looks and feels underhand. And now taking a look at the sock liner of the shoe, we have a lighter grey, super soft and padded sock liner. As I've covered on previous reviews, I really do believe that the Jordan 1 High does offer a decent amount of ankle protection and support. And for me, this feels extremely soft underhand. And now taking a look at the insole of the shoe itself, we have a completely grey insole with a metallic silver Jumpman branding with the Co.JP branding as well, which stands for Concept Japan. And now taking a look at the heel portion of the shoe, we have a metallic silver leather material that wraps right the way around the heel portion of the shoe. And now that pretty much wraps up the overview of the shoe itself, so now let's go ahead and get into my opinions on the shoe. Now moving over to the most important aspect of any sneaker, and that would be the sneaker's comfortability. Now in terms of Jordan 1 models, I do generally find them an extremely comfortable shoe right out the box and don't really require any breaking in time. And now in terms of durability, for me, the Jordan 1 model is an exceptionally durable shoe and is one of those shoes that you can actually wear all year round. And now in terms of sizing, I would recommend that you do go true to size, as I do feel that that would be the best reflection on you. However, if you do have the opportunity to try out the model before buying, I would highly recommend that you do so, just so you can understand the best fit for you. And now in terms of my overall rating on the shoe itself, I do give the Jordan 1 Japan Neutral Grey a solid 8 out of 10. I'm actually really surprised how much I do like this shoe in hand. My initial thoughts were that it was a little bit too futuristic looking for me personally. I couldn't really see myself wearing it to begin with, but actually seeing the shoe in hand has definitely changed my opinion on the shoe. And sometimes shoes do that. You know, you'll see the initial imaging and it can put you off, but actually seeing the shoe in hand can make the world of difference. I think they've done a fantastic job with the colour blocking. It is a much more refined, subtle look than what we see on a lot of other Jordan releases, and I really am impressed with the overall quality of the shoe itself. So now let's go ahead and take a closer look at the shoe in more detail. So I just want to say a huge thank you to everyone who stuck around to this point in the video. Please consider subscribing to my YouTube channel, hitting that bell notification, and I hope to see you again in the next one.